Breaking: Mccabe issues vile threat to Trump after losing retirement. Immediately gets worse news, by Liberty for DailyVine.com. The nation is abuzz after the news broke that Attorney General Jeff Sessions fired former FBI Deputy Director Andrew Mccabe just 2 days before his pension was set to vest. As expected, the left is screeching incoherently about how petty and hateful it was to can 49-year-old Mccabe just 26 short hours before he was set to retire, effectively ending his chances of receiving his pension after nearly 22 years of civil service. Mccabe himself has come out swinging, making a scathing public statement about his untimely dismissal, stating, "For the last year and a half, my family and I have been the targets of an unrelenting assault on our reputation and my service to this country. Articles too numerous to count have leveled every sort of false, defamatory, and degrading allegation against us. The president's tweets have amplified and exasperated it all. He called for my firing. He called for me to be stripped of my pension after more than 20 years of service. And all along we have said nothing, never wanting to distract from the mission of the FBI by addressing the lies told and repeated about us no more. Here is the reality. I am being singled out and treated this way because of the role I played, the actions I took, and the events I witnessed in the aftermath of the firing of James Comey. The release of this report was accelerated only after my testimony to the House Intelligence Committee revealed that I would corroborate former Director Comey's account of his discussions with the president. The OIG's focus on me in this report became a part of an unprecedented effort by the administration, driven by the president himself, to remove me from my position, destroy my reputation, and possibly strip me of a pension that I worked 21 years to earn. The accelerated release of the report and the punitive actions taken in response makes sense only when viewed through this lens. Thursday's comments from the White House are just the latest example of this. Maybe you should have thought about that before you started lying about everything. And what was your mission? Your mission was to take down Donald Trump? Well, it didn't work. This attack on my credibility is one part of a larger effort, not just to slander me personally. You did a good job slandering yourself, Mccabe. But to taint the FBI, law enforcement, and intelligence professionals more generally. It is part of this administration's ongoing war on the FBI and the efforts of the special counsel investigation, which continue to this day. Their persistence in this campaign only highlights the importance of the special counsel's work. The idea that I was dishonest is just wrong. This is part of an effort to discredit me as a witness. You know, what a crock, right? Del Quentin Wilbur, former Deputy FBI Director Andrew Mccabe, to meet today with staff of Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. His final appeal in his possible, firing, says person familiar. Decision rests with AG Sessions. Developing story from last night on latest twist in saga. Is there any truth to what Mccabe is saying? Or is this a man that is simply angry at his dastardly deeds, coming into the light and slinging accusations and vitriol in an effort to save face? Does the left's incoherent screeching actually have merits this time? Or is Mccabe the lying liar who would not know the truth if it bit him? He knows the truth. The answer lies within the Justice Department's Office of the Inspector General in the report they provided detailing years' worth of allegations of misconduct by Mccabe to the FBI's Office of Professional Responsibility. In other words, this did not just happen. This investigation has been ongoing for some time. In fact, McCabe actually stepped down from his position with the Bureau in late January, and many believe that was not by choice. Fox News reports McCabe was removed from his post as deputy director, leaving the Bureau after months of conflict of interest complaints from Republicans, including President Trump. This was January 29th. Breaking, Andrew McCabe has stepped down effective today as FBI Deputy Director. Multiple sources familiar with the matter tell NBC News. According to the Wall Street Journal, McCabe left his position or post in January after he was told to step aside, but had been expected to take leftover vacation time until he was eligible to retire this month after a decades-long career, actually 2 decades, with the agency. A spokeswoman for Mr. Sessions said in a statement that the Justice Department follows a prescribed process by which an employee may be terminated, and said he had no personal announcements at this time. Fox News guest Sarah Carter has reported since McCabe initially stepped down of evidence uncovered that McCabe allegedly ordered FBI agents to alter their 302 forms, the paperwork and agent files after interviewing someone. PJ Media reports, I have been told tonight by a number of sources that McCabe may have asked FBI agents to actually change their 302s, Carter told host Sean Hannity. So basically, every time an FBI agent interviews a witness, they have to go back and file a report, Carter explained. Hannity pointed out that, if true, it would constitute a case of obstruction of justice, and Carter agreed. She said the matter was being investigated by FBI Inspector General Michael Horowitz. If this is true and not just alleged, if it's true, McCabe will be fired, Carter said. They are considering firing him in the next few days, if it turns out to be true, she added. So, the Washington Post also reported of a confrontation that took place between current FBI Director Christopher Wray over findings in the DOJ's Inspector General report. It is currently unclear that those findings were, as the full report has not yet been released. However, what we do know is that the FBI Director Christopher Wray went Sunday and reviewed the 4-page FISA memo. The very next day, McCabe was asked to resign. John Solomon of The Hill reported Representative Ron DeSantis recently interviewed a retired FBI supervisor who testified of being instructed by McCabe not to call the 2012 Benghazi attack an act of terrorism when distributing the FBI's findings to the larger intelligence community, despite knowing exactly who conducted the attack. So he is really, like criminal. Solomon states that the agents found the instruction concerning because his unit had gathered incontrovertible evidence showing a major Al-Qaeda figure had directed the attack, and the information had already been briefed by President Obama, the lawmaker said. Representative DeSantis told The Hill of this alarming revelation. What operational reason would there be to issue an edit to agents telling them, in the face of virtually conclusive evidence to the contrary, not to categorize what happened in Benghazi as a result of terrorism by placing the interests of the Obama administration over the public's interest? The order is yet another data point highlighting the politicization of the FBI. And they have the nerve, he has the nerve to talk. He better get himself a good lawyer. So here he is, the Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, absolutely not attending an event in support of his wife, Dr. Jill McCabe. And there he is with his wife there and the kids. There have been multiple reports from several sources, including DeSantis, pointing to an incident after Trump's national security advisor Michael Flynn resigned over lying to Vice President Mike Pence over his contacts with Russia's ambassador. An FBI executive made an inappropriate comment during a video teleconference, giving a good indication Mccabe and the agency as a whole had a personal motive in investigating Flynn and ruining his career over a sexual harassment case in which Flynn testified against Mccabe on behalf of a decorated female agent. You see? Because Flynn testified against Mccabe for sexual harassment, they said, let's take this one down. You see? So what does that tell you? He's crooked to the core. Mccabe was also investigated for violations of the Hatch Act, where he is accused of engaging in ethical conflicts pertaining to his wife's run for the Virginia Senate in 2015 as a Democrat. She received $700K in campaign contributions tied to Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe. McAuliffe is a known ally of Hillary Clinton, who was under FBI investigation at the time. Records show Mccabe attended a March 2015 meeting with McAuliffe designed to secure the governor's support of Jill McCabe's candidacy. You know? So, questions have also arisen over McCabe's involvement in examining emails found on former Representative Anthony Weiner's laptop, as well as the consistent pattern of treating Clinton investigations differently than other investigations. McCabe claims to have sought FBI legal advice on just how to deal with his wife's campaign, yet all the while he presided over the Clinton email case until just a few days prior to the case being closed. In other words, those crying foul over Mccabe losing his pension and screeching to all and sundry about how unfair, quote, it is, can be directly pointed to the growing mountain of evidence directly from the Inspector General's demonstrating a laundry list of misconduct and malfeasance. The IG's full report is set to be released soon, and it seems it will be very revealing, and heads are already rolling. So I go along with Sean Hannity's TikTok. A lot more heads are going to roll, and he better get himself a good attorney because he's going to need one, and he's crying over his pension. I don't think it's going to do much good while he's behind bars. And I agree, I was listening to Sticks and Hammer 666 today, where he was saying that government employees should not get a pension. Why should taxpayers be burdened with pensions of these governmental workers? No, either you work for the government, you're working for the people, or you're not working at all. Basically, bottom line, these people get rich off the other people's backs, and it is absolutely wrong to do that, and especially when they're corrupt like this one. And that's why Hillary is so arrogant, and she walks around like, you can't touch this, because she had everybody under the sun working in on her behalf, and they were being paid off quite handsomely, I'm more than sure, by her buddy George Soros and the rest of the criminal things that she was doing behind the scenes on those personal email servers. A lot of pay-to-play was coming into the foundations that she was involved with. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.